Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and August 15th of 2022 was the 30th anniversary of SNICK. So yes, it's been 30 years since SNICK first aired on Nickelodeon back on August 15, 1992. And in honor of SNICK's 30th anniversary, I saw the original SNICK lineup, and I'm going to review each episode of each show I saw. Now, the first show I saw was Clarissa Explains It All, and the episode that I saw was Total TV. Now, this episode begins when Clarissa was talking to the audience about this Greek philosopher who talked about too much of a good thing, and she gives examples like eating your favorite flavor of ice cream or stay in the sun too long when you're supposed to get a tan, but it was a third thing I think, but I forgot. And well, she also said that she was given a homework assignment. I forgot what class she said it was, but well, for her project, she said she's going to improve television, and by doing that, she's going to watch uh, television 24 hours, and not every day, but just for 1 day. Now, after the theme song, well, Clarissa was stuck with her family, and well, it turns out that while Clarissa is going to watch TV for 24 hours, her family will be in the garden planting a new tree. And like in every episode, Ferguson and Clarissa would, argue with each other. And then, yeah, and then Clarissa started her project, and it was like a countdown, and she started to watch a TV. And sometime later, her mother called to go outside, and Clarissa went by the went to the yard and while carrying her TV. And then Ferguson came to her and told her, or maybe it was later, but anyway, sometime later, Ferguson went to Clarissa's room and told her about this woman. I forgot her name, but there was this thing called TV overload psychosis, and he told Clarissa that he's gonna look forward to getting her room once Clarissa is in the loony bin after watching too much TV. Now, later that night, Clarissa was in her pajamas, and then she started talking to the audience and talk about what she saw so far, and she said things like the commercials look like TV shows, and the shows are the commercials, and if you want information, they have infomercials. And then suddenly the TV started changing channels by itself, and Clarissa was going on, and then she grabbed a magazine that Ferguson left, and according to his article about the psychosis overload, it says that one of the symptoms is seeing channels changing by itself. Then Clarissa turned off the TV, and then, well, there was still sound coming from the TV. And then she looked at the article, says another symptom is hearing the sounds. And then once the 24 hours is up, Clarissa, she went and fully changed, and then saw that the channel started changing again on their own, only it wasn't as bad as it was. And then her friend Sam came, and another friend came, I forgot her name, but they noticed that the channel was changing as well, and Clarissa was surprised that they see it too. And then when they turned on TV, there was still sound, and Clarissa's friends can also hear it too. And then Sam found some kind of device, and the search was from, and it was Ferguson that he well, he planned everything, to make Clarissa think he's going crazy. And so Clarissa decided to get back at him, and well, she went and pretended to have the TV overload psychosis, and then well, Ferguson he went into Clarissa's room, and Clarissa was inside the TV, and then Sam was there, and she I mean he sorry it was a guy yes well, he asked what he Ferguson did, and Ferguson says that he didn't do anything. In fact, Clarissa was the one who was watching too much TV, and well was in a panic, and then Ferguson left. And then Thurston was a little trick that Clarissa and her other friend were in the attic using it as a TV studio, and Clarissa finally got her revenge. And then later, well, Ferguson was trying to convince the parents that on why he didn't take away, but Clarissa's TV away, but they said they're not gonna do it just because she tricked him. Of course, they didn't say that Ferguson was who tricked her first. Then Clarissa came and told her about her project and how TV can improve, and she talked about TV interaction, showed a video of her telling viewers what to do, and then once the video was over, the show ended, and that was the episode of Clarissa I saw. Now the next show I saw was Roundhouse, which has to do with family, and well, let's see, well, it started with a theme song, and then try to remember the best as I can. That well, one of the first things I remember was that there was an the group was doing some kind of an advertisement, or at least one person was doing an advertisement for saying this is your family, and talk about the well the typical family, like you have the father, mother, older brother, older sister, and as a bonus, grandma. And then well, there was some argument with the son and his family, and then another thing with the grandmother embarrassing her granddaughter. Oh, also there was sometimes during the episode where the cast members are singing, and then there was a dance number. And let's see. Oh, I also remember the oh, oh, one of the songs. And the daughter, she well, they were watching TV, and uh, it was a cardboard TV, and few of the cast members were talking about I forgot what it was, but one of them was playing the vice president, or at least who was vice president at the time, in case in Quayle, I think that was his name was, but yes, he did something about Kermit the Frog doing some kind of message, and then they knew that it was the him making the voices, not the puppet. And then the kids got a call where they finally want a normal American family, and they moved in with the new family. Then they chose one with the old. Oh yeah, I remember there was also like no, I'll forget about that one. But yeah, so well, later at the end, the episode revealed that the new family were robots, and the person who sold them was said that real people aren't perfect, which is true. And then All the kids moved back where their old family, and the father told the son to sing the reprise and roll the credits. And then the entire cast came and sing the reprise of the theme song, and that was the end of the episode. Now, the next show was Ren and Stimpy. And well, you have two main segments in a think three little ones, but anyway, the first segment was in the army where Ren and Stimpy joined the army, and well, Ren was sitting somewhere and he was looking at the eye chart and seeing that the letter spelled "This will hurt you." He got a shot, and also Stimpy got one too. And then he got the bus cuts, and then finally got the new uniforms. They started to think that well, it wasn't so bad. And then it came to sergeant and gave them orders. And when he told him to give him 20, while Steve did 20 push-ups, but Ren gave the Sarge $20, and well, the $20 burned in his hand, just like that. In the punishment, Ren and Stevie were sent to peel potatoes. And then the next task was to go inside the tear gas room, and there were those gas masses, and then but inside the room was well, first they didn't want to go in, but the drill sergeant came with a tank, and when Stimpy went in, and first it was full of stinky cheese, and then they were told to remove the mask, and well, Stim uh, Stimpy started to cry, and his face started to do a bunch of crazy stuff, and then once they got out, Stimpy asked Ren why he's not crying, and Ren said that he cheated, that he held his breath, and then the sergeant was there, and as punishment, they were sent to peel watermelon. And then, well, they went to another task they were given was to carry a bundle or something heavy on the back, walk around, and then, well, Ren started to ride on Stimpy's back, but then the sergeant came and, well, now he was riding on Ren's back. Well, he was carrying it. In the night, started to go to sleep, but they were quibbling it because Ren didn't get the sleep he needed. Started going crazy and ended up hitting was slicing the bed with an axe. And the sergeant was there, and as punishment, they were sent to build H bombs. And then later, well, Ren started to get paranoid, and he instigated to escape, but the sergeant was there. The sergeant, he was there, and then he shook their hands and congratulated both Ren and Stimpy because he graduated, and now they're full-fledged tech paratroopers. And well, they're not playing, and then Ren and Stimpy started singing a patriotic song, and then well, they were inside the tank, and they started to fall down and throw palms everywhere. Now, the next segment was but it's one short one, like a commercial of a parody of a commercial, and it was for something called Sugar Frosted Milk. And then the next segment was Ask Dr. Stupid, where Stimpy asked Dr. Stupid, well, he was given a letter and asked something about what is at the bottom of the can of beans, and well, Stimpy said that is the queen bee, and all the other bees are the worker bees who serve her. And then another small segment is where Rand said that he's taking control of the TV set. And when Stimpy said that somewhere below Earth's crust, then he put the shed up and wasn't sure if they could trust the viewers. And Stimpy suggested they could take the oath. And Rand said, told the viewers to put their hands on the TV screen and repeat what he said. And well, he was the oath, and then but the people were in and told Sleepy to show them the stuff. And so he started showing the next cartoon, and well, that was the last segment, which was Powder Toastman, which is supposed to be like a parody of the Superman TV show from the 50s. And showed that, and that started with Powder Toastman standing, and the narrative was actually so many questions in that Powder Toastman got so fed up and threatened him, but he threatened the narrator if he continue, if he start asking one more stupid question. Then said that he said that later on we get to where Father Dosman um, his secret identity as a Tigan, and there was his secretary who she calls him father. I don't know if that's because that really is her father or it's just like a title. But anyway, he got this dress call from his toaster, and Father Dosman put his head inside, and his head is toast, and then he flew into the air, but backwards, And the music, the sound effects reminded me of the flight sound from the George Reeves Superman TV series. And there was a kitten who was in danger, and to save the kitten for the postman, he sped racing at the plane, which crashed on the track and saved the kitten, and everybody was celebrating. I think he got another distress call, and he had threw the kitten like this. And the next one, oh yes, he went to Antarctica, and he saw this small house, and inside was Mighty Mudskipper, who had tied the Pope into a barrel of TNT. And they went and started to fight Mighty Mudskipper. Then, he saved the Pope, and when he asked what about Mighty Mudskipper, mm, well, Potter Toastman, he tied Mighty Mudskipper to the TNT and went, and then he got another distress call, and he left the Pope on the top of a mountain, he's on the point, and then went to Ren and Stimpy, and it turns out that they were all out of powder toast. So he used his powers to get them powder toast and then left. Of course, Ren and Stimpy noticed something about the powder toast, and powder toast man, he returned and apologized for forgetting something, and he did what he did do and left, and Ren and Stimpy enjoyed their powder toast. And then while part of them was flying, he got another distress signal, and it was from DC, which means that the president was in trouble. And well, when he saw what was wrong, well, he did his part to help. And then, well, while the president was in recovery, one of those men decided to fill in for the time. And I remember he said, "I solemnly swear to relieve all Americans of their basic human rights." And at the Oval Office, he and his secretary were there, and then once he did some of the work done, well, he noticed that it was getting cold, and realized that the fire went down, and he found something to burn, and what he found was two documents, and they were the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And he put it in a chimney, and both he and his secretary put it in the fire and started roasting hot dog and marshmallows. Well, hot dog and a marshmallow, and that was the end of the episode. And now for the final show that was part of the original SNICK lineup, Are You After the Dark? And well, this episode started with a bunch of kids being shown. Then one of them was saying that they go to different schools, they have different friends, and but one thing they have in common is the love for let's say scary death because that's the best I can say. But your horror, yes, and they tell ghost stories, and that they're called the Midnight Society. And well, there, this is tryout for a new member. The musical Frank experienced sponsored by a boy named Bing Dan or something like that. Mm. And well, the leader Gary, he said that oh yeah, Frank was wearing a blindfold, and well, he can't remove them unless the boat is United Hands for him to be in. And in order for that, he must tell a good scary story. So well, they all sat down, and Frank started to say, submitted for the approval of the Mental Society. I called this story, and then he threw this dust in the fire and thinking the title, Tale of the Phantom Cab. And well, the story begins with two brothers, Danny, who's the oldest, and he felt like a tough guy, and his younger brother, uh, she's with a P, I forgot his name, but well, the two brothers, they were walking in the woods. Of course, they got lost because his younger brother, he was supposed to be in charge of the routine, and then but they'd be walking around for so long trying to find the way back that it suddenly became night. And then yeah, Bernie, I think that was the younger brother's name. We just call him Bernie, Just that's best I can guess. So anyway, Danny and Bernie, they went around, and then they met this guy named Flynn, who told him about well, they said, about this doctor who might help them, and they found this kind of like a cottage or something like that, and then went inside, and they met this old man, and his name is he said his name is Doctor Vink, and when they say Doctor Vink, and the doctor says no, it's Doctor Vink with a and told him about he told the boys about how nobody really truly studies nature, and he gave an example about the brain of a boar, a wild one, and said that even after it's moved from the head, they can still send something about electricity, and they wanted to find a way. And then Doctor Fink he started to ask about if they could with riddles, and I forgot what the riddle was the first one, but also one of the boys talked about him being a nutbag, and Doctor Fink said that he is not a nutbag. And then he started one of the yeah, people was standing who went to the phone, but Dr. Fink decided threatened to cut the cord if they don't solve his next riddle. So the boys took intimidate that if they can solve the riddle, then they can call their parents, and if they don't, they can just leave. So the riddle was it is something you can see with a naked eye, weightless, and if you put it in a barrel, it will make the barrel lighter. Now I tried to figure it out for myself, but I couldn't and knew the voice. And then the story was interrupted by, the kids at the campfire. And then Frank said that he'd like to finish the story first. And then, back to the story. Well, since the kids couldn't figure it out, then they went. But other things that they could do something else if they gave him a specimen. And when he asked what kind of he's referring to, well, Dr. Fink, he grabbed a jar, and in the jar was a human hand, and the kids ran away, scared. And then came a taxi cab, and they went inside, and it was Flynn, and well, see that that boy's going to solve the riddle, and talk about that the same thing happened to him 40 years ago, but he couldn't solve the riddle. He couldn't solve it, and he told him that anybody who many people have made up to think, but since they couldn't solve his riddle, well, it didn't work. And for all those people before them, you see, and then when, yeah, well, Flynn, he said the specimen he came was his own hand, and said that well, after his hand was removed, well, he was in an accident, and then he turned his head around, and said that he died, and the kids were in panic. They were scared because it turns out the plane was a ghost the whole time. And, oh yes, and then very soon they were getting close to the crash, and then Bernie he realized farther into the river, and it was a hole. You can see a hole. It is weightless, and if you put it in a barrel and make it lighter, which means you have to remove something from the barrel to make it lighter. And then plane disappeared, and the kids were saved. And then came a forest ranger and talked about how the parents were worried, and they went home and back to the campfire. Well, Frank told said that nobody saw the panic gap ever again. And when the boys told the police about Dr. Fink, well, they went to his cottage thing, and all they found was a old foundation covered in weeds. And then the story ended, and then it was time for the vote. And Gary said like, thumbs up, he's in. Thumbs down, he's not. And all the kids gave a thumbs up, and it was unanimous. And well, Frank had the blindfold removed, and he finally became a member of the Minute Society, and everybody congratulated him. And that was the end of the episode. So there, those were the four shows of the original Snake lineup and the actual episodes that aired when Snake first premiered. And well, yes, it was a nice, reenacting my viewing experience from 30 years before. I mean, back when back when I started watching Snake for the first time, I never would have thought that 30 years later I would rewatch the original lineup and the episodes just for a video. But yes, and well, for anything that's going on with Snake's 30th anniversary, well, there are some comments about it on social media, but uh, Nickelodeon so far I haven't found of anything about them doing anything for it. But yes, and so yes, I think that's all I can say about what they did for the 40th anniversary of Snake. And also, please subscribe to my channel because it will help me a lot. And also, please share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.